but you're not actually trying to even be a good example of what an Israelite is. You don't study. Whatever the things that come out of your mouth, all you care about is, oh, I'm about to be a rapper. You got brothers like that. Trust me. We run into them all the time. We run into them all the time. But instead of doing things to be able to build and uplift and esteem another man, that's not what they're doing. Read on.
Verse 4. Look not every man on his own things.
Read.
But every man also on the things of others.
See, and this is what that hypocritical man is not doing. This is what that man pleaser is not doing. He's looking at things, he's looking on his own things. He's not looking at the things of the body, the things of others. How can I be a better help? He's looking at how do I get through the day? How do I get through my day easiest? Oh, I'm just gonna BS around. I'm not gonna put my spirit in. But as soon as somebody pop up, it's like, oh snap, yeah. They snap into work mode.
Right. Like there's a spirit in them.
Yeah. All of a sudden that battery, that light switched on because somebody showed up.
Right.
Sisters do it too. You all of a sudden your husband's there, you snap in, but when he ain't around, you just in the back fading away. Can't be like that.
That's the same thing dealing with our daily life, with work, you know what I'm saying? A lot of cats show up late to work. But when your boss lets you know, listen, you can't show up late. Why? Because everybody else is here on time.
Right. You're affecting the business.
You're affecting the body. But cats, when you understand that they really don't care, they don't understand how it affects others. They only see themselves. Oh, it's an excuse after excuse after excuse. No, it's not. Oh, you know what? I'm going to get it right. I got to do better. Nah. He's looking at his own self.
Read on.
Verse 5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus.
See, this is the mind that's supposed to be in us. Not let me escape by doing the minimal work or doing only what's the minimum that's required to get by.
Right.
The mind is, let me put my whole heart into it. Let me help the brethren. Let me help build. Let me put my hand to the plow and be diligent.
Right.
Come.
Read.
Verse 6. Who, being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God.
See that? Christ said that he was in the form of the Most High, but it would be robbery to put himself equal with the Most High. Because Christ knew better. He wasn't looking for that vain glory, and he wasn't going to be a hypocrite either. But he didn't care to be seen of men. There's so many instances in the scriptures where Christ healed a man and said, look, don't tell nobody.
Right.
Just go on your way. Don't tell nobody. I don't want nobody hunting me down.
Right.
There was many instances in the scriptures that you read.
He asked me, are you the son of man? He didn't say nothing.
He said, you call me that.
Right?
Yeah. Read on.
Verse 7. But made himself of no reputation.
He did what?
Made himself of no reputation.
Yeah, he wasn't looking for that reputation. He wasn't looking for that title. He definitely wasn't looking for that from no man. The holier than thou, the king of kings, the man. He wasn't looking for any of that. Think about it. There's a whole poster of all the names that Christ got, right? He never once called himself any of those names. Those were names that were given to him. He made himself of no reputation. He wasn't looking for that vain glory. He wasn't looking for no kudos. He wasn't doing things just for man to see it. He was doing things in secret and in the light. All righteousness, of course.
To be an example for others to learn.
Right. He was showing them how to be an example of, listen, when you do something, put your whole heart in it.
Right.
And be steadfast, abide in your work, abide in your labor. Don't be double-minded and wavering.
Right.
He healed out in the open, but he healed behind closed doors. Some cats he told, listen, I healed you, go tell somebody. Some brothers he healed, he said, don't tell nobody. Because he didn't want to be known. He didn't want to be of any reputation. Read.
And took upon him the form of a servant.
He became a what?
Servant.
A servant. A worker. Somebody that gave himself. Ready to perform at the beckoning and call. That's what a servant is. Think about it. Think about, every time I think about a servant, I always think about like a butler or a maid. Right. They're there to do whatever needs to be done at the time. And they got to put their spirit into it. Right. They do put their spirit into it. They're like, man, let's do this. This is my job. Read.
And was made in the likeness of men.
Go to Galatians 5:25. So people do this, man. These man pleasers, they're looking for praise from men. They're not looking for the blessings from the Most High because they're in this carnal mind state. Y'all got it?
God.
Read that.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 25.
Read.
If we live in the Spirit,
read.
Let us also walk in the Spirit.
Yeah, if we live in the Spirit, if we have this spiritual mind, we got to walk spiritually. We got to show it forth. You can't live in the Spirit and then walk carnally. Doesn't make sense. If you live in the Spirit, you got to walk in the Spirit. Your works got to be in the Spirit and of the Spirit. And when you're doing this, you're not looking for kudos and praise from a man. You're not looking to be seen of men for every little thing that you do. You're not going to perform only when man is around. You know that when you're in the Spirit and you walking in the Spirit, you're doing all things wholeheartedly to the Most High. Right? Read on.
Verse 26.
Read.
Let us not be desirous of vainglory.
Let us not desire what?
Vainglory.
Yeah, we don't want to desire the vainglory. There's no profit in that. We should be looking for the immortality that the Most High brings. Read.
Provoking one another, envying one another.
Yeah, we shouldn't be provoking and envying one another. That's what that vainglory does. It provokes and it brings envy. From there, go to yeah, we can go there. Go there real quick.
In Galatians chapter 6 and verse 8.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 8.
And this is just to show too as well, you know, for the topic being man-pleasing, about reaping what you sow. Go ahead and read that.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
Definitely. So you sowing for, you know, a tap on the back, a couple duckies in your pocket. Cool, the Most High give you a couple duckies, but they will run out sooner or later.
Duckies, he's talking about money. But yeah, you sowing to, you're not sowing to anything that's spiritual. You're not sowing to your salvation. You're not sowing to the benefit of your people. You're just doing things just to do them. What were you going to say, Valente?
I was going to say like that pat on the back, that good job, that's real short-lived. It's like,
yeah,
it's like that, and it don't count no more. And then in this, but you know, when you're doing it towards the Most High sees that, and it counts a lot. It goes a lot further with Him than it does with men.
Right, because you know what the Most High is able to do? When He says He's the one that rewards you openly, He's now showing you the reason to keep pushing forward. A thank you, a congratulations, oh, you did a great job, my man. How many of those can you get till you're like, man, I don't see the purpose. I don't see the vision. But the Most High is going to open up your eyes and allow you to see the reason to keep moving forward, the reason to show the love, the reason to not be a hypocrite, the reason to do things wholeheartedly. And He'll propel you forward. Where y'all at?
Galatians chapter 6, verse 8, second precept. But he that sowed to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
Right. It says reap to the Spirit. It's if you sow to the Spirit, he shall reap to the Spirit. That's your mind. You know what I'm saying? So you start understanding when you start getting offended by man, the person that you're looking up to, the person that you're trying to please, whenever he offends you and you get completely hurt, what you do? You run off.
Yeah, and that'd be the problem with brothers. That'd be the problem with that's the problem though. that's another thing with that man-pleasing spirit. When they get checked by the person that they're trying to man-please, it's like, oh, he wasn't supposed to talk to me like that. Then all of a sudden you ain't around. Because you didn't feel like you should have been talked to a certain way. Because that person's not in the spirit. You've been reaping carnality so long, you don't understand the spirit, to the forward, to the meek, and to the forward. That everybody's not going to come to you the same way. That man might come meek, but then what happens when he comes forward? But only a carnal man is going to look at that like, oh, he checked me this way, so now I can't be around.
Right. Because
you were doing things to please that man. You were doing things only because that person was around. You done with that one?
And that's what I think about Yahushua though too, man. Because Yahushua, listen, that man got betrayed, talked down, spit upon, hit, but he continued doing what he doing. Continued doing what he had to do. He was doing his Father's will. He wasn't trying to man please anybody around in the vicinity, even though he had to deal with them every day. And that's any type of situation in your job, dealing with the camp that you're with in this truth. You know what I'm saying? With your family, you got to long suffer through these wounds. Why? Listen, you understand the outcome or the goal that's at hand.
Right. You see, you have a vision.
Right.
From there, go to Corinthians 9:26. Because this is another thing, like we were saying earlier about this spirit of man pleasing. After a while, you just get on this person. They get on autopilot when they're doing whatever it is that they're doing. Whether you're in the camp, whether you're at work, a sister with her husband, a husband with his wife. He gets on autopilot. And you do things and there's no love behind it.
Yes.
You just do things just to do it. Like, oh, I'm here, so I might as well just do this. But there's no love behind it. And we see it. We see it. You just what's that?
Got no salt to it, no taste.
Yeah, there's no flavor. It's just damn, you just gonna throw it all.
Just dull as hell.
Yeah, dull and bland. A dull, bland effort. Because this is the problem. Read this. 1 Corinthians 9:26.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 26.
Read.
I therefore so run.
So this is Paul. He's telling you run. You supposed to run this race. You supposed to run in this life. He said run. But read.
Not as uncertainly.
But see, that's the problem. This man is running uncertainly. He don't got no love behind what he's doing. He's uncertain. He's like, man, I'm gonna just do it because I'm here. I don't got no other alternative. I know if I go over here, they ain't gonna accept me. I know if I go over here, they ain't gonna accept me. I'm being accepted here, so I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna just do it just to do it. Got nothing else better to do, right? That's that autopilot spirit. Read.
So fight. All right.
So fight I, but you supposed to fight. Read.
Not as one that beat the air.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to just be beating, like just fighting for nothing. Got the cats that just be shadow boxing.
Right.
Shadow box in the air. It's like, but you ain't fighting nobody. Paul was saying run, but not uncertainly. Fight, but not one that's trying to beat the air. What's up, Valente?
Like how you said, without uncertainty.
Uh-huh.
What do you say about someone who's looking to gain that certainty in order to like the shadow boxer?
Yeah.
He's working on the punches slow, and gaining his speed, but making sure he's using the right form
Right.
before he goes 100% into it.
Right.
What would that be like? I mean, is that wrong to make sure you want to get your form right instead of just just running all crazy or just throwing all kind of wild punches?
It ain't wrong. It's not wrong at all. A lot of it is, because you know what? A lot of it is, you got to have that faith. You see what I'm saying? You got to have that faith. You got to know who you're dealing with. And this is the thing. If you're, Because we're dealing with a man that's doing things not towards the Most High, right? But he's doing it for the glory and the praise of men. So, what is this man lacking? Because if he's uncertain, he lacks faith. He lacks understanding. He lacks a vision. So this man would have to build, this man, like the scriptures say, where there's no vision, the people perish. So this man would have to see, what is the vision? What is the vision? Like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? You see that? And then he would have to build from there. But there's nothing wrong with practicing or being that boxer, but he's doing it as uncertain. That's the problem. There's nothing wrong with rehearsing, like the scripture say, rehearsing righteous acts, right? Rehearse things, do them over so you can get perfect. But this is an uncertain person. This is a faithless person that we're dealing with here. You see? Where you at? Hold that. So that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with seeing, is this for me? Or is that what you're getting at? Like, let me try to perfect my art before I actually get into the fight?
Right.
Kind of thing?
Right.
Right. Nothing wrong with that. But this is more dealing with a person that's already in the fight. But now they're just, they've been fighting so long. They're at the point where it's like, man, I've been doing this forever. And the fight in them is now turned into, I'm only going to fight at this instant. Or I'm only going to run well or with a goal or with a purpose when I'm being watched or looked at or seen or praised.
Or I can get something out
Or I can get something out of it. It's not about a man that's like, damn, let me check this out, see what's going on, let me take my time. No. This is more of that man that's already been here, been in the fight. And it's like, man, they're losing traction and they're losing ground time after time after time as they go. Because now their fight is not for themselves, it's not for the Most High, it's not for their brother. You see what I'm saying? It's more of, I'm fighting because this person's looking, or that person's looking. Got that?
Got it.
You have a question?
No, I was gonna say that's like no. Oh wait, no.
You sure?
Yeah.
Bring it on!
Well, no.
What's up?
The scripture in Revelations, right? Being lukewarm or being cold, being hot. You know what I mean?
Right.
God, because can I grab it or?
Of course.
God.
Move all things.
God.
Somebody read that.
Revelations chapter 3 verse 16.
Revelations chapter 3 verse 16.
Go ahead.
And it says,
Start at verse 15.
Revelations chapter 3 verse 15.
Done.
Revelations chapter 3 verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
So this man, the Most High, he understands this person's works. He understands where his heart is, there's his treasure also. Right? So he's looking at this man's work and he's saying, I know your works. Go ahead.
I would that thou wert cold or hot.
He's telling him, he's like, okay, because I know where your heart is, I would rather you cold, I'd rather you being instant in season and out of season, or you know what, just say screw it and don't do it at all.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Continue.
So then because thou art lukewarm,
But because you're a bandwagon, you're riding on the bandwagon, right? Because you only want to do it when everybody's looking at you. You want that vainglory, you want to thank you, you want to pat on the back, right? Go ahead.
and neither cold nor hot.
Because you're not on fire for it, or you're not just flat out saying you don't want to do it. Go ahead.
I will spew thee out of my mouth.
He's gonna spew you out of his mouth.
Right. The Most High is going to reject your deposit.
Right. Because you're thinking you're acting like you're doing it for the Most High, but you're really not. But then you're gonna present that gift to the Most High, and He's gonna reject it. Why? Because you never had Him in mind in the first place. Because if you that's why the scriptures in the Old Testament talk about when you present not to come to the Most High empty.
Right.
Because he's talking about your works. He's talking about your mind and your works, delivering that gift, delivering your sacrifice. Right? Come.
Amen, brother. Go back to Corinthians 9:26 and read that one more time.
Corinthians chapter 9, verse 26.
Read.
I therefore so run.
Read.
Not as uncertainly.
So don't be uncertain in your run and your walk. Read.
So fight I.
Read.
Not as one that beateth the air.
Yeah, you don't want to be uncertain, but this person that's uncertain, the reason why they're uncertain is because they're not doing it out of, once again, a whole heart, a pure mind, a willing mind. They're doing it out of constraint. Like they feel like they're bound to do this because this man said so, or this person said so. They're bound to do the work because the brother made me. I'm at the mall because the brother said I got to be here, or I'm making garments because my husband said I have to. I'm at work because I got to be at work. There's no freeness in that. There's no love in that. That's just, it makes you get on that autopilot mode. It makes you get on that, like I say, that no love spirit, that no love, that no charity. Go to Ephesians 6:6.
Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 6.
Read.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 6. Not with eye service.
Yeah, not with eye service. You ain't supposed to run and fight giving eye service and all the little things that people do to try to hide the motivations behind why not to do things. Right. Not with eye service. Read.
As men pleasers.
Read.
But as the servants of Christ.
As a servant of Christ. A servant. Someone that's willing, that's ready at any call to pick up a task. But not with eye service as man pleasers. We're supposed to be ready to just do the work. So you're supposed to be there for your husband at the drop of a dime. Not because he's making you do it. You're not supposed to be trying to hide your intentions. You're supposed to be doing it because you love him. We're supposed to be doing the service of the Most High because we love our nation. We love the brothers. Right?
Come on.
Read.
Doing the will of God from the heart.
Doing what?
The will of God from the heart.
So we're supposed to be doing the will of the Most High from our hearts. From our whole heart. Read Philippians 2 and verse 2.
And just to get on that though too, because some on the topic of man pleasing, you have some individuals that they like to say, "Oh, I'm not a man pleaser." So what? You do things half-heartedly. Okay, so cool. So now it says in that in Ephesians it says as unto God, or no, it says from your heart. Well, your heart is actually where your mind is, where your spirit is. So you're doing everything to the fullest. So why are you doing things half-assed?
That's a man pleaser.
God.
They do it because they want that vainglory.
Right, because you didn't see it benefiting you in the long run.
Right.
So you did it half-hearted.
Right.
God.
It's like playing a trick with yourself. I'm not gonna man please somebody. So I'm a relax. I'm a slouch. I'm gonna do things any type of work half spirited. Well, then you're definitely not doing it to the Most High, because the Most High is not accepting that.
Right. He wants you to come with full force, with your whole heart in anything that you do.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
Where you at?
Philippians chapter 2, verse 2.
Read.
Fulfill ye my joy.
So this is the joy. Read.
That ye be
2 and 12.
Come, verse 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only.
You see this? So we've been at the point where we've obeyed all orders, not only in the presence of man. Read.
But now much more in my absence.
We're supposed to be doing it much more in the absence. Especially if you've been around for a long time, we know what's required. You ain't supposed to be like, "Oh, brothers, what's the saying? When the cats are away, when the dog is away, the cats will play."
The rats will come out and play.
Oh, is that it?
When the cat's away, the mice like to play.
Yeah.
I thought it was when the dog is away, the cats come.
All of it.
All of that.
Well, basically, when there's nobody above you to check you, all of a sudden you just bend off.
Yeah, you free roam.
You roam around. If we in the mall, all of a sudden ain't nobody here to check you. You just bend off and go shop half the day away. Hey, I've seen it all.
Wow.
I've seen it all, man. I remember, oh man, I've seen it all. Just working in the mall and with different brothers back in the day. There was a brother one time, man, he was at the mall and he thought he was going to be at the mall all day by himself. And he got one of the oil bottles and he put alcohol in the oil bottle. And surprisingly, he got popped up on. And you know, we check everything, we inspect. It's like, man, what's that smell? It don't smell like no frankincense. It don't smell like Egyptian buzz. It smell like Hennessy. What's going on? But he thought because nobody was there, this is what he could do. He could drink on the job. We don't do that. He thought he could fill up one of the bottles with some alcohol and get a little swig here and there. But then somebody popped up and it was like, what's going on here? Something ain't right. And I got checked right out the door. But that's the thing. He would never do that if the same person that popped up on him, he would never do that in front of that man. Like, oh, let me pour this into this bottle and leave it here and we're going to sip. Hell no. That would not go down. That story is hilarious, man. Brother really thought he was going to get away with that. But the spirit's always moving, man. The spirit's always looking to correct things. So that brother popped up on him just out of the blue, out of nowhere. Like, yeah, what's going on? Damn, it's smelling real liquor-like over here. Like, what's that smell? You know? So read that again.
Come, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only.
So we're supposed to obey, not in the presence of man only. Read.
Come, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Yeah, this is how you work out your salvation. You're supposed to know that whatever you're doing, you're supposed to do it wholeheartedly. Like the brother said, instant, in season and out of season, no matter who's around.
I got a scripture for you.
Always, because we know that because a man ain't there, guess who's there? Guess who's always looking?
Come, Most High.
Because why? His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Con? Go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 2. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. We got 15 minutes.
Oh, you got it? You got it? Go ahead.
If you got it, read, bro.
Come. 1 Thessalonians. Look, I forgot.
2 and 4.
1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4.
Is everybody happy?
Come.
Read. Wait for the brother to get it.
Come.
Read that, Aria. Read.
Come. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. But as we were allowed of the Most High to be put in trust with the gospel.
We've been entrusted, especially brothers that have been around. We've been entrusted to know and to perform no matter who's around. We've been entrusted. Read.
With the gospel. Even so we speak.
Read.
Not as pleasing men.
Not as what?
Not as pleasing men.
Read.
But of the Most High.
You're supposed to be pleasing the Most High. Not men. The Most High is the one that entrusted us with the gospel. He's the one that chose us. It wasn't a man. A man delivered the word. But the Most High said, I chose you from the foundation of the earth. So he entrusted you with the gospel. The law, statutes, and commandments. So you're supposed to be pleasing the Most High. Read.
Which trieth our heart.
Because he's the one that tries the heart. He's the one that goes into that brain and figures out what's going on with you. He sees where's your love, your patience. He's the one that's trying you. Ain't no man putting you through your trials. And so-called tribulations and trials. It's the Most High. And I'm going a little faster because we got 10 minutes. I'm trying to get some of these out. Go to Colossians chapter 2 and verse 22.
Colossians chapter 2.
3 and 22. Salakia.
Verse 3, verse 22. Servants, obey in all things your master.
Did everybody get it? Read on.
Your master according to the flesh.
Right. So the scriptures do tell us to obey our masters according to the flesh. Obey if there's an order, you obey the man above you. If there's a house, there's definitely a household order in Corinthians. God, Christ, man, woman, child. So we obey the order according to the flesh. God. Read.
Not with eye service
but not with eye service. Read.
As men pleasers.
Yeah, we don't want to be men pleasers in doing it. You're supposed to be saying, okay, I'm the wife, he's the husband, he's giving the orders. I understand spiritually that he's not trying to bring me through nothing wrong or pimp me out. He's trying to do things for the betterment of our lives. Let me follow the order. But let me do it from a whole heart, from a willing mind. Read.
But in singleness of heart, fearing the Most High.
Yeah, you're supposed to do things out of the fear of the Most High, not out of the fear of man. Not because you're gonna get checked by a man, or you do things because you don't want to get checked by a man. You got people that do that. Like, let me make sure that I'm on my P's and Q's because I don't want to go through the chastisement. So let me fake it.
It's gonna come sooner or later.
It's gonna come because things get exposed. You're gonna slip up somewhere. You can't fake it till you make it forever, right? Y'all understand? Y'all with me so far? Go to read verse 23.
Verse 23. And whatsoever you do.
And whatsoever you do, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you do in righteousness, read.
Do it heartily. As to the Lord, and not unto men.
Yeah, we're supposed to be doing things heartily with our whole heart, whole spirit, whole mind, with all diligence to the Most High. Not to men, because a man's praises only go so far. That vain glory can only carry you, especially if you in here. That can only carry the kudos and the congratulations and the brother, good job.
Right.
That only goes so long until you're like, man, I need something more.
We all doing work though.
We all putting in work. Thank you.
We all got our actually says bear each other's burdens.
Right, but we all putting in work. But it's about what is propelling us to continue to do the work.
Right.
Not a man's words, but the blessings from the Most High.
No, and that's even what the scripture says, as unto the Most High. You know, that should be something that we should check. We should have the scripture in our mind every day, because that is your motivation.
Right.
The works that we do is for the Most High, not for man. Because I asked myself, that was a question I had a couple days ago about Kazaki. I was like, damn, Kazaki be moving, got this going, got that going, got this going, got that, and then he's trying to give to have us moving into that fashion, right? So I asked the question, what keeps him moving? Because he's doing it unto the Most High and not unto men.
Right? No, go ahead.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, he's doing things. He's not doing things for the praise of men. If we're talking about Kazaki, he's not doing things for the praise of men. Else, he probably wouldn't be doing it. But he understands that the goal is he understands the vision. He knows the vision, and he understands that it's the Most High. It's about praising the Most High and doing things that the Most High requires. He understands who chose him. Go to 1 Peter 1 and verse 22. He also understands this, because he's not rolling around in autopilot. He's not rolling around with no love. So this is what he understands. If we talk about Kazak, read.
1 Peter chapter 1 verse 22.
Read.
Seeing ye have purified your souls in obeying the truth.
So we're supposed to obey the truth through a pure spirit. Read.
Through the spirit unto unfeigned love of the brethren.
So we're supposed to have unfeigned love. Love that's unmovable, unbroken. What they call it in the world? Unconditional love.
Right.
Towards the brethren. But see, a person that's just doing things just to do them in autopilot, there is no love. There is no unfeigned love, because his love can be changed.
Conditional.
There's conditions to his love. There's a time limit to his love, because now he's doing things like we said earlier. You're doing things in front of a man, and he's giving you all the kudos and he's telling you good job, but then when he stops doing that, it's like, man, I'm not. Brothers ain't appreciating me.
Right.
It's like, what are you talking about? Or brothers is overlooking me.
Right.
Yeah, because everything you do is not going to be praised and magnified, but the Most High sees it. But this man, since he's a carnal man and he's not in the spirit of the Most High,
right,
he's not. His love is going to be unfeigned. What's up, Ariel?
I have the definition: sincere, genuine, real.
Unfeigned is sincere. There ain't no sincerity in a hypocrite. There's no sincerity in being a man pleaser. Y'all see this? There is no sincerity in that. This man's love can be changed at the drop of a dime. What else you got?
Genuine.
There's no genuinity in that. What else?
Real, true, honest, unforced.
Yeah, it's forced. That's the thing. You gotta force that love. You gotta force yourself to do the labor in love. It's not unfeigned.
It says wholehearted.
You're not doing it. Thank you. There it is. You're not doing it wholeheartedly. You're not doing it wholehearted. You got something? Read on.
See that ye love one another with a pure heart, fervently.
Fervently. You have and that's the point. This person doesn't love his brother with a whole heart. He's not in that singleness of mind. His mind is broken. Because one minute he's doing him, the next minute he's doing what needs to be done.
God.
You guys understand? Aria.
Fervent is passionate, intense, vehement.
Vehement love.
Like the scripture says, with vehement desire, not wanting to come. It says sincere. It says heartfelt.
What's up?
But what I like though, still on that scripture, Wisdom of Solomon 13:1, it says that we are vain by nature. So by nature, we don't have these characteristics. We don't have these attributes that the Most High wants us to have.
That he instills in us when he says that you do your work, whether he be present or not. That's what's supposed to be happening. You're supposed to see. It don't matter who's around.
Right.
I'm doing this through the love and through the will of the Most High, and these are the reasons why. This is the benefit.
And that's the motivation.
And that should be your
You
motivation.
gotta find a motivation, but that is the motivation.
You should be motivated by the brethren, by your nation.
Come
Go to Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 10.
God.
Internet go off yet?
It's been on and off.
Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 10.
Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 10.
God.
Done.
Done?
I've been quoting it, so we might as well go there.
Done.
Read that.
Rock it down. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your works and your labor of love.
Listen. You got to check this out. He said the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and your labor in love. It has to be a labor in love. It can't just be labor. You got to love your work. You got to love the brethren. You got to love to build. What's up?
No.
It has to be a labor in love. It can't be a labor in love when another man's around or your husband said so.
Right.
You got to be willing to do it. Right? Read on.
Labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name.
Wait, they showed it towards my name?
Toward his name.
Well, no, because Ariah said so.
Toward his name.
Yeah, we're doing it towards the Most High's name. Read.
In that ye have ministered to the saints.
Yeah, because that's what we're supposed to be doing, is ministering to the saints. When a person that has no love, this is not what he's thinking about. Right. He's thinking about how can I get in there, half-ass my job, and then roll home. How can I clock out?
And take the benefits.
And then still try to reap some benefits. No, you don't reap the benefits that way. That's not how the Most High works. He wants to see that labor in love, which consists of you ministering to your brethren, being there for your brothers, your sisters, your family, your nation. Read.
And do minister.
And you do minister. Read on.
Verse 11. And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence.
Supposed to be diligent in the work. Read.
To the full assurance of hope unto the end.
So you're supposed to be diligent until the end. You're supposed to keep the same love that you had in the beginning until the end. That apple of your eye, it should be the same from beginning to end. It shouldn't change because you're a couple years in and all of a sudden you're like, man, I'm going to just do this sometimes. Read on.
Verse 12. That ye be not slothful.
That you be not what?
Slothful.
So being a hypocrite makes you what?
Slothful.
Being a man pleaser does what?
Slothful.
Read.
But followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promise.
A slothful person doesn't do what? They don't inherit the promise. because they're not thinking about that. They're not thinking about that immortality. They're thinking about, how do I fill my pockets today? How do I get my ego boosted right now? From there, go to Jeremiah. Slothful. Go to Colossians chapter 1, verse 9. I'm jumping.
Colossians chapter 1 and verse 9.
Yes, sir.
Done.
Con.
Go to verse 10, actually.
Verse 10. Con. That ye might walk worthy of the Lord, unto all pleasing.
So the way you walk worthy of the Most High is to do the job and be instant in season and out of season. To do things with a whole heart. That's how you walk worthy. Right?
Con.
Not doing it because someone's around or someone's watching or you think someone's watching. Or doing it for that vain glory or praise of men. Or to be seen of men. Read.
Being fruitful in every good work.
And this is how you be fruitful in every good work. This is how you bring forth fruit.
Con.
Read.
And increasing in the knowledge of the Most High.
Well, see, the problem is a person that's not thinking like this and that's not doing these things, that's not walking worthy of the Most High, he's not fruitful.
Right.
He brings forth, because for one, he's slothful. He's only doing it to be seen of men, so he's not going to put his whole spirit into it. Think about it. If you water a tree sometimes, is it going to grow? If you're inconsistent with the fertilization and the upkeep and the maintenance, is it going to bring forth any fruit? And if it does, those fruits is going to be raggedy. You'll get some old dried up figs, some old non-sweet plums, right? Plums just going to be dry, no juice. Bitter. Yeah. It's going to be just prunes on a tree. Because you can't do things half-hearted. You got to do it with a whole heart. But if you do it half-heartedly, you're not going to be fruitful in any venture that you have. I don't care who you are, what realm you're in. You could be in the truth, you could be out the truth. You sow sparingly, you reap sparingly. We're going to go there too. Where you at?
That was the end of verse 10.
Go to Titus 3 and 4. Titus chapter 3 and verse 14. Excuse me.
Titus chapter 3 and verse 14.
What's up? You got scriptures or? Read that.
Titus chapter 3 and verse 14.
Read.
And let ours also learn.
So this is what we should learn. Read.
To maintain good works for necessary use.
So we're supposed to be maintaining good works. Not the works that are done half the time. Not the half-ass works. Not the I'm going to do it because he said so works. Or I'm doing this because my husband said so works. The way you maintain good works and walk worthy of the Most High is to do it wholeheartedly. He needs a pen. Read.
Necessary uses, that they be not unfruitful.
This is how your works don't become unfruitful. If you're not maintaining good works, you're going to be unfruitful. This is what this man pleaser is, an unfruitful person. There is no fruit coming from him. There is nothing coming from this man that's profitable. He's unprofitable. What does the Most High say he does with a tree that brings forth no fruit?
Shoot him down.
Cast into the fire, right? Because it's not going to bring forth anything. Nobody put the proper work in for it to produce. Where you at, Titus?
God. That was the end of 14. 3 or 14.
So we know that this spirit of man-pleasing can bring forth a slothful spirit and an unfruitful spirit, right?
God.
Go to Proverbs 24 and 12. Someone else give me Proverbs 19 and 15.
Proverbs chapter 24, verse 12.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hold y'all like 10 minutes a little bit later, but we're gonna finish it up.
Proverbs chapter 24, verse 12.
Read that.
If thou sayest, behold.
Proverbs 12 and 24, Salakia.
Proverbs chapter 12, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
The hand of the diligent shall bear rule.
Yeah, the hand of a man that's not slothful, the hands of a man that's about his work all the time, eventually he's going to become the ruler. He's going to raise. You ever see those stories of an immigrant that came from like China, and he worked in the factory for 50 years, and he worked, and all of a sudden now he owns the factory? Did that dude ever stop working?
Wow.
Did he say, I'm going to work because the boss is looking at me?
Wow.
He had a vision. He said, I'm going to work and I'm going to own this thing. He might not even thought I'm going to own it, but he said, I'm going to work my butt off and I'm going to make it. He kept at his job. He abided in his labor, like the scripture said. The hand of the diligent. He was diligent in his job. Read.
Come. But the slothful shall be under tribute.
Yeah, but a slothful man, he's going to be paying tribute. He's going to be paying taxes for his life. A slothful man is going to be just giving it up. He's going to be under tribute. He's going to be owing. Because he doesn't put himself in a mind state to give wholeheartedly and to put his full strength into it. So something's always going to be required of that man. When you're under tribute, you owe. You got to pay. More is always going to be required because you didn't put your full spirit in the first time. So it's like, man, you got to do it again. You got to do it again. You got to do it again. You did it halfway for half the day, and then you didn't put your spirit in the last part of the day. You got to go do it again. What you got?
Just an annotated.
Yeah. Oh, read it.
This is in the annotated Bible. This is Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 24. It says, the hand of the diligent will rule, while the lazy will be put to forced labor. Forced labor, which means something that he doesn't want to do, that he's being forced to do. So he's doing it half-heartedly. He's nagging. He doesn't understand why he's going through it. His mind's tripping on him. Ready to quit, want to work, quit. Mind's just flipping and flopping.
But that's why the scriptures say, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory.
Gone.
Nothing should be done through force. You should be forced to have to do anything. But since you don't want to do it willingly the first time, now you have to be put under tribute. You got to be put under to be made to do something.
Oh, now you're put to death.
Or be put to death.
Dr. Juan said it the best. He said, serve the Most High or die.
Serve or die. So we're understanding. You guys are with me. You guys get it, right?
God.
What this man-pleasing spirit can bring. And this is just one angle. But what this man-pleasing, if we don't do things and don't realize that we're doing things for the Most High, that it can lead to other avenues of failure. It can lead to the slothfulness. It can lead to the not caring for your brother. It can lead to the unfruitfulness, the not being blessed. We get that, right? So we know that there's a flip side. And I'm gonna hit a few scriptures here real quick, because we know that, and we quote it. We keep quoting it. Go to 2 Corinthians 8:12. Oh, actually,
That's Proverbs 19.
no. Don't worry about that. Go to 2 Corinthians 8:12.
2 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 12.
Read.
Con.
Done. For if there be first a willing mind.
So there has to be a willing mind. We always got to keep in mind that your mind has to be willing. It has to be willing to be in the labor of love. You have to be willing to be there for your brother.
Be in subjection.
You have to be, subjection to your brother. You have to be willing to do your work without having a taskmaster over you.
Done.
You have to be willing to do what you got to do to build yourself spiritually without somebody having to say, put down the video games, put down the phone, put down the, what's the one spinners? Put down the spinners.
The fidgeties.
Put down the fishies. You gotta put yourself in that willing mind to say, okay, I don't need this right now. I need to get in the book. I need to study. I need to build myself spiritually. Put my classes together. Get my breakdowns going. What's up?
You got to basically scrutinize your own time.
Yeah.
You got to scrutinize your mind. You got to scrutinize your schedule, and you have to be your own taskmaster to get things in order. Not because somebody's over you, but because you actually wholeheartedly want to get it done. You actually want, God, you actually want to see the 144,000 established. You want to see the return of Yahweh Shai. You want to be found,
Go ahead.
You want to be found so doing when the master returns.
Right. You want to examine yourself whether you be in the faith.
Con.
Yeah. No, I thought you had it.
No.
Read on.
Willing mind. It is accepted.
Then it's accepted. You gotta have that willing mind. Then it's accepted. But you know why brothers get rejected? Why the Most High rejects your deposit, and why you wishy-washy, and why you gotta do things for the pleasure of men? Because you're not doing things out of a willing mind, so it's not being accepted anyway. So now you gotta go to a different avenue of acceptance. Y'all see that? Y'all see how that works?
It's like when you go to a job and you're told to do something, but you don't have a willing mind to do it the correct way, or an open mind to receive the information on how to do your job properly, you're not going to have the effects. You're not going to see the benefit, or you're not going to see the effects of the teaching that was instilled in you.
Right, you're not going to see the reason why to even do it.
Right.
That's the thing, right? And that's what we're trying to get at is you got to see the reasons why. Who gives the blessings? Who gives the cursings? Who sets you up in a position anyway? It's like the Pharisees. Who put the Pharisees in power? It was the Most High. Who gave them that knowledge to even know the law the way they knew it? It was the Most High. They thought they were doing it of their own will. That's why they got carnal with it. Where you at?
Second precept, sir.
Read that.
According to that a man hath, and not according to that he hath not.
Go to 2 Corinthians 9 and verse 6.
2 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 6. But I say this. Slap. Con?
Con.
This is a flip of a page. You got it?
Con.
Read.
2 Corinthians 9 and 6.
And we always got to remember this.
But this I say, he which soweth sparingly.
So what you put in, read.
Sparingly shall reap also sparingly.
You're going to get this. So the amount you put in is the amount you're going to get back. Or even less. You reap sparingly. You throw 4 seeds in the ground. You better throw more than 4 seeds in the ground if you sowing.
Con.
A bird going to get one. The weather's going to kill another. You might kill one during the harvest. You might get 1 seed that grows out of 4. So you need to reap bountifully. But what you put in is what you're going to get out. Read.
And he which soweth bountifully shall also reap bountifully.
Read on.
And every man according as he proposeth in his heart, so let him give.
Right. It has to be in your heart. What is in your heart to give? What is in your heart to sow? That's what you got to remember. How much am I going to put in without being forced or without being lorded over? What's up?
It's the same way when you read in Acts about the husband and the wife.
When they sold the land?
When they sold the land,
Right.
Because the spirit came and ceased from their bodies and they died. They gave up the ghost. Because they sowed sparingly. They reneged on what they said they would give, right? And they decided not to give wholeheartedly. They said it with their mouth, but their heart was far from their action.
Right.
So they gave up the ghost. They died instantly. God.
Read on.
Not grudgingly.
Not what?
Not grudgingly.
You're not supposed to be sowing and giving grudgingly. Read.
Or of necessity.
Or because it's like, well, we need you to do this. There's no willingness in that. Read.
For the Most High loves a cheerful giver.
He loves a what?
Cheerful giver.
Yeah, the Most High loves a cheerful, willing mind. A cheerful giver. Read. Where you at?
Verse 8.
Read.
Verse 8. And the Most High is able to make all grace abound towards you.
This is how grace abounds towards you. You got to be that willing, cheerful giver.
Come.
You got to have that willing mind. Then it is accepted.
Come.
You see that?
Come.
Let's see what else we got. And we'll probably just end it there. Yeah. We'll end it there. Alright, so with that, we'll end it. There's only a few more scriptures left. But you guys got any questions? On the class, off the topic, on the topic?
It's a new
Well, this is what we're gonna do. If you got any questions online, just hold low. I know the feed was going in and out. We apologize. But if you got any questions online, we ran over a little bit. So just hold your questions until Friday. You know we love to answer them. Hold your questions until Friday. We'll get to them. But since there's nothing else in here, just salute them online. We're going to say shalom.
Shalom!
But now we with a wake-up call.
Cause we don't understand our own selves, drowning in sorrow with empty hands on the shelf. Cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out their soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper